They were created to create and discover and explore and to get dirty and to imagine. So I have this download that on one side is a goal poster for you to pray, see and pray those 4 goals in their lives. But you may also want to hang it in your kids' room instead and let that be theirs. But just some instructions on the back on how to raise a Luke 2:52 kid, that balanced kid in the 4, make sure they're growing in those 4 areas.
Yes.
I also, on my podcast, have some multiple podcast episodes about it as well.
Okay. So, well, if you can send those to me, I can link to them so people can listen to those. There are just so many things. I wish we had more time to talk about specifically elementary years, but I'm going to just throw a few things out there. Outdoor play is vitally important for them. They must be outside, and it's not just the elementary years, middle school and high school. It's important for them too. But in these elementary years, they must be moving. They must be outdoors, exploring God's creation, digging in the dirt, finding the cool bugs and figuring out what to do with them. And, all the different leaves. I mean, there's so much to explore outside. So outdoor time, reading time is huge. If all you do in your homeschool day is read to your kids really good literature and let them play outside, and then let them play indoors as well, whether it's Legos or playing house, for little girls who, my girls would sit and play with their dollhouse 4 hours. And it's mommy training. I mean, it's really what it is. And they were learning how a family works together and how those relationships work together. And their little babies would fight with each other sometimes, and then they would make up. And, it's so exciting to see our kids develop under our own roof.
Yeah.
And, listening to audiobooks, that's huge. I'll actually link some recommendations for audiobooks. We love audio dramas. We love the Lamplighter series. We love the Brinkman Adventures. There are so many different ones that you guys can listen to, and then just regular audiobooks as well. They can listen to. So those are the things that are the most important.
Yeah. The
worksheets, they're okay sometimes, and some kids enjoy doing those things, but it's not what the focus should be. Get rid of that idea that your kids need to be sitting at a desk doing worksheets all day long in order to be accomplishing school, because that's not really what they need.
They were created to create and discover and explore and to get dirty and to imagine. And, that playing in their room time, imagining, that is so important. And yet in our society, we see so much of the grabbing the technology and that is not developing in them things that they were just, they need this to be grown and full in them before they enter that middle school years, where they're ready to go deeper into knowledge.
Yeah. And this is a time to train your children in their behavior. So if you have a child who's very active, it's good for them. That's why they need to be outside, to get out that energy, but then train them to use self-control when they're at home. Though if you're reading to them, that's not the time for them to have to sit quietly with their hands in their laps. There is a time for that. Sitting at a dinner table is the time to sit and use self-control. When you're reading to them, they should be self-controlled, but I strongly recommend your kids being able to do something with their hands, whether it's Legos or building or drawing or coloring or something. Most kids listen better and can comprehend better. Have you found that with your kids?
Absolutely. I loved coupling either like a history scene, just opening up a book of a history scene for them to draw and color and make, that they're looking at that and making it themselves while I'm reading to them about that historical thing, or to take some famous art thing that then they're doing that while we're reading.
Right. Yeah. I cringe when I see videos of kids, sitting on their little carpet squares while the teacher's reading to them, from her chair up front. And she's like, sit crisscross applesauce with your hands in your lap. And they expect these little 4 and 5 year olds or even 8 or 9 year olds to sit still, perfectly still while she reads to them. And they're bursting. All they want to do is move because God has created their bodies to move. And so that in those elementary years, focus on those things. That is really what they need. Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, Listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.